Good morning, everybody. It is March 26th. Happy Wednesday. Rise and energize.
Good morning. Look at my fancy shirt Jim sent me.
Let's go.
I belong to the tribe now. We love it. It's official. It was really cute. My daughter snagged one of the notebooks, of course.
Of course.
Right? Like, of course. So she's like, "Do you need both of these?" I was like, "No, you can have one. It's fine." We love it. Go to town, love. Go to town.
What a great session yesterday for a momentum hour, building the calendar, energy gains, setting you up for success, boundaries. I feel like several people saw that yesterday and we're super excited to explore more. So I think, what our conversation, where it started last week, where it ended up this week with some training, some education, and then some great feedback. So I love these morning sessions. We're sparking interest, we're grabbing attention, and ultimately we're providing opportunity to take action as well as some education. So I'm just rolling into this morning fired up after yesterday's impact effect momentum hour.
Well, what happens to me a lot too is like, you don't know what people don't know, right? And so all of a sudden somebody will do something like a simple training like we did yesterday. If you guys missed it, you can go back into any of the accounts this is posted in. All of those trainings are posted in there as well. Eventually they'll be just in the Impact Effect community. But right now I want to give you guys the value so you can kind of see what we're doing, what we're building. But like, if boundaries around your calendar, never even thought about it. Does that make sense? I was always just like, oh, yes, how can I help you? Or like, yes, how can I be of service? Always tried to just make myself available. And it was almost like this subconscious energy drain. Like, I didn't realize how much it was draining my energy. I didn't realize how much like having no boundaries around a calendar and even just a simple form asking people like, why are we connecting? Like, why are you even reserving this spot with me? Has completely sort of changed my mindset. And it's sort of fascinating how just yesterday we talked, like you showed me how to do this and go high level. But I'm also starting to think, okay, where else can I start to create boundaries using a system, right? You showed me how to create a system. So again, like you don't know what you don't know. And that's the goal that Jim and I have, is to sort of teach you like, here are easier ways to do things in the front end. And you know this, Jim, in the front end, building a system, it takes time. We're doing it right now with Impact Effect. It takes time. So it's that time where you need to sort of step back as a business owner, entrepreneur, side hustler. You have to sort of step back to move forward. And so we're taking steps back, learning where energy drains and gains are, trying to really figure out what we can focus on and to create boundaries so we have more gain than drain. And then once you have that system down, it's really just plug and play, right? Or just like copy, repeat, copy, paste. How have systems helped you? Because don't systems sort of like in the front end, it feels like an energy drain because they're like, oh, I have to create this. But like you're a master of systems. You're a master of like creating systems to make life easier. How have they helped you in your life?
I was, when you were talking about the systems and the goals, I was looking for this quote on my phone because I didn't want to mess it up. But this is what I believe around systems and energy gains. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. We all need to build better systems, right? So if we have these audacious goals, we have these big goals. If you know anything about Jim Morris and myself, is I'm always pushing people to follow their dreams. I'm always pushing people to follow their goals. And I think you need a system in order to keep you tracking those goals, keep you on target and forecasting where you're going. And if you don't know weekly or mid-month where you're going to land in your business forecasting, in your revenue, in your expense forecasting, your business most likely will not hit the target, or you may get lucky and crush it and just blindly hit it. But the reality of it is likely more than not, you are going to fall short. And what you're going to be pissed off or upset about is the fact that you didn't have the information to make a pivot, to enact something new, to take a risk, to stop doing what's not working, right? That's a system around your goals. And without those systems, you're going to fail. You're going to fall, and you're not going to be able to forecast. You're not going to be able to pivot. You're not going to be able to reflect deeply because you're not tracking the information necessary and needed. So when it comes to goals, when it comes to systems, when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to scheduling, when it comes to communication with your team, marketing, all of this is a system. Everything is a system, right? Whether you're hiring a virtual assistant or you're hiring someone locally, whether it's 1099 or you're paying the payroll tax, you've got to set up a system, right? Because you're not going to do every single task one off every single time it's needed and necessary, especially in 2025, folks. Like, if you're not using a system like Go High Level, if you're not using a system with automation, with back-end communication that you are setting up in the future to run your business, setting up in the present to run your business in the future, you're behind, folks. You're behind because everybody's doing it. And if you don't think everybody's doing it, your competitor is doing it. So the reality of it is, what systems do you have today? Right. And I think for me, one of the most important systems, and a lot of people don't talk about this because we talk about outcome, we talk about results, we talk about features, we talk about benefits, but the best system that I've ever built is preparation. So what am I doing to prepare? What's the work before the work, right? And I think for me, the reason why I say preparation is the best system for whatever task, whatever speaking engagement, whatever event, whatever webinar, is because preparation equates confidence for Jim Morris. I can't go into a situation confident knowing that I didn't prepare. So no matter what it is, whether it's a speech to 5,000 people on a massive stage, 60,000 square feet, ton of seats, ton of sponsors, ton of companies, perfect target audience, or it's a 14-person dinner, intimate in a private, luxury Airbnb, talking about your dreams, I cannot exude confidence if I am not prepared. One of the things that we did a couple months ago in February was do these beyond the table dinners to talk about following your dreams and being bold, taking risk, and ultimately getting comfortable asking for help. We identify, we clarify, and we enhance our dreams so that way we have a clear path and understanding. The reason why I did that event is because what that is preparation for your life, ultimately, right? That event was preparing you, and so you can understand where your dreams are, where you're tracking, how you're going to get there, who you're going to ask for help, what systems can you use, who can you leverage, and how to be bold, knowing that this is your lifelong dream. Let's go and get it. Like, let's go. Let's be bold. Let's make asks. Let's do this. Let's practice this in a safe setting. So that whole event about following your dreams, that whole dinner, right? You're eating filet mignon talking about your dreams, like super fucking cool in my opinion. But what's even cooler is I'm preparing you and probing you and asking you questions because that's preparation for you to follow your dreams your entire life. For me specifically, I had to prep 6 or 7 times running through that situation, that scenario, what I was going to say, when the music was going to hit, when the food was going to get served. I did that 6 or 7 times the day of the event. I went through the whole thing 6 or 7 times. It's a 3-hour event. So obviously I'm not, doing the full guided practice, but I'm going through my points and my talking points. So that's a system. Most speeches that I do, I practice 90 to 100 times because, and this, it's funny to talk about this with speaking because speaking is like the number one fear of humans, right? Public speaking. Well, it's my fucking fear too. Like I'm not any different than you. I'm scared shit every time I go on a stage. I've gone on a stage before with someone with 5 million followers, and then good old Jim Morris walks up there. I've gone on a stage. I've hired people who coached Oprah and then spoke right after them. I'm scared. I'm nervous. But the only way for me to exude confidence, use my anchor, start the fire, flip into my mode, and let's fucking go. The only reason why I can do that is because of preparation, because of the system that I built. I have to do my speech 90 to 100 times for me to feel confident, comfortable, safe, and ready to roll. So that gives me energy, preparation. That's a huge energy gain, and it's also a system.
Yes to all of that, because also practicing, I always tell clients too, you have to believe what you're saying. So the more you do it, the more you'll believe it. So if we're doing like batch creation sessions or we're doing short form videos, I'll say that was great. Now do it again. And they're like, why do I have to do it again? I was like, because you have to believe what you're saying. Right now, you're saying the words that we wrote, like the hook and whatever else, the script, but like you're not believing what you're saying. People need to feel the energy and that vibration in your voice, that you believe the value that you are giving to them. You believe what you are saying to them. And so when you practice,
conviction.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're at the end of Q1. And I think there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and side hustlers realizing, I didn't do anything that I set as a goal for myself for Q1, that my Q1 is gone. And now here comes Q2. What's next? And I want to encourage people, if you're in that space, if you're having that, like, oh my God, this is the end of March, like this is almost over, and you sort of didn't create a system, you kind of don't know what to do next. You realize that you allowed the time to just go by instead of creating and building and projecting and practicing and whatever. Look into Impact Effect Community. Honestly, like if you really have no idea kind of like what you're going to do for the other quarters anymore, because the first one went by so fast, we can help you with that. We can help you create number one systems. We can help you practice, and then teach you how to project. Like Jim is great at projecting numbers, projecting outcomes, and coming up with resources and solutions for all of us. So if you feel like, okay, Q1 came and went, you didn't stick to any of the goals that you set for yourself. Maybe you didn't have any goals and realize I should have. That's part of what the community is doing. We will be here every day for you guys to help you. We have one-on-ones, we'll have accountability sessions, we'll have co-working sessions, we have office hours, because a lot of times, and Jim, you know this too, if you're working with somebody one-on-one, the question can't always wait till your appointment next Tuesday at 8 a.m., right? Like I need this answered now. And that's the whole point of this community, is that you have real time action and answers, like as quickly as we can get to you. We absolutely will. So energy drains and gains, what do you think we should be focusing on today to like get some of that energy? We need some energy getting into this last week.
What do you have coming up at the end of the week or early next week where you can carve out 30 minutes of just focus and preparation on that, right? You're going to feel much better when you stop avoiding spending time on it. You know you need to spend time on it. You know it's coming up on Monday, whether that's prepping for a client meeting, whether that's fulfillment of your service or product, and maybe you want to start it this Monday, but today's Wednesday and you're a little behind, and you got other stuff and you're avoiding it. Like just carve out 15 to 30 minutes right now on your calendar and just start preparing for it. Attack it. Get into it. Stop avoiding it. Right? Avoidance kills me. If you're anything like me, it pains me because I get stressed out and I end up producing, right? Like I'm not saying, I'm someone who's like, oh, I just fizzle out. It doesn't happen. I do the thing. I do it well, but it's so much more stressful. So if this thing takes a couple hours, you need to prepare, just schedule 15, 30 minutes, Thursday, tomorrow, Friday, and just start on it. Start on it before the weekend, especially if it's due next week. You're going to remove that energy drain of emotional avoidance. Like subconsciously we are suffering because we're avoiding a thing we know we need to do until it gets so bad that we realize it consciously. So if you feel that little inclination like you're avoiding something or you're stressed out and you really need to prep and you need to prepare and you need to get ready, just give yourself 15, 30 minutes to just focus on that this week. So you're a little bit more prepared as you go into next week. After that 15, 30 minutes, you are going to feel much better, whether you accomplished a shitload of stuff or you accomplished just one micro thing in the process of the million things you need to do before next week. But that small win is going to boost some energy. That small win is going to feel like you took a notch off the to-do list, cross that bad boy out, and you're going to get a nice, clear feeling of, okay, I did accomplish something this week around that big thing. I did not avoid everything. And hopefully, I believe so, that will provide you some energy gain opposed to drain.
I think that's incredible. And I think that we can put that idea not even just towards our businesses. I've been avoiding calling doctors and making doctor's appointments. It's like the bane of my existence. And I'm like, oh, I really have to just set aside time, like just set aside an hour and just call the doctors and just make sure I follow up with the insurance, right? Like, I know it's so dumb, but it's just the one thing on the list that I'm like, I just don't want to do. So
thanks for sharing that, by the way.
Well, it's time.
It's real.
Like, the kids have to go to doctor, right? It's just the thing. I hate making those calls. And so the more you put it off, it doesn't go away, right? Like things have to happen. And I think to Jim's point is you start thinking about the thing that you're not doing. And that is such a drain. And then when you sit to do it, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. So if you've been avoiding something all of Q1, whether it's for your business, whether it's for personal, whatever it is, block out the time, put the phone aside, put music on if you have to, right? Like figure out what it is that you can devote to, like the thing that you've been putting off that you know is just draining your energy. I would love for you guys by the end of the week to just set aside 30 minutes, an hour, and just do that thing. Just knock it out because number one, you'll see, what was I waiting for, right? And then number two, you'll see, I was allowing something to take up space, to just take up negative space and drain my energy. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. So, you know, we can handhold you through some things. We can't handhold you through everything. Just do the thing. Just block out some time this week and do the thing that you've been avoiding most. And whether that's making doctor's appointments or creating systems, batch creating, scripting, whatever it is, just do the thing. It's not worth that energy drain all day. It's just not, well, all day, not even all day, like all week. Sometimes some of you guys are probably thinking about stuff for months. I've been thinking about doctor's appointments for like a month where I'm just like, I just don't want to do it, but it'll get done. And then we move on with our lives.
One of the things that this conversation just sparked for me is I've got to move some money around in some different bank accounts for some different projects and different things. And that takes like an hour at the bank. And it takes 20 minutes to get there and 20 minutes back. So what I'm going to do today is go on a walk, get some exercise, call the bank, see what we can do over the phone, and then carve out 30 minutes Saturday to do it, because this has been, you were talking about like the doctor's appointments. Oh, I need to make this appointment. I need to make this appointment. I've been trying to move this money around for probably 5 or 6 weeks. 5 or 6 weeks I've been thinking about this, and this isn't a bad thing. Like it's not even that I'm like, oh, I gotta fire an employee, I don't want to have this conversation, or ooh, I gotta tell this person that they're not fit to speak on our stage at Impact Effect, or it's not even a hard conversation. Like it's an easy it's just I gotta do the damn thing, right? And I gotta find the time, and right now time is shrinking in my world with 2 little humans and 2 businesses and a loving wife and friends and fam. But here's the thing. It stops today. So what can you stop today? What can you schedule out? And what can you prepare to give you energy gains? That's the question we have for you. And thank you, Rachel, for sharing your personal situation about having to just get it done, because now you sparked this in me. Is I'm going to make the call today. I'm gonna look at my calendar right after this. I'm gonna call the bank. I'm gonna mitigate what I have to do in person, and then I'm gonna go there Saturday. And hopefully it will be 30 minutes, and I don't have to think about this or put it on my calendar or stay up at night. Like last night, literally, I before I went to bed, I was thinking about this. I'm like, well, what if the bank wants to do this? And last time I had to open this account, and the transfer on this, cost me a fee, and I'm not going to pay that fee. I'll cancel the account, take my money out, and go to a different bank, right? Like I'm literally creating stories that aren't real. The bank never told me I couldn't do that, but I spent probably 15 minutes before bed thinking about this stupid thing, and it was a huge energy drain. And I actually just passed out. That's probably how much of an energy drain it was.
So do what Jim said. We're going to make that a t-shirt too. Just do the damn thing. Just do the damn thing. It's not worth it. It's really just not worth thinking about it over and over again and being the last thought of the day. It's like, oh, it's not what you should be thinking about before bed is the one thing that you're avoiding. It's not hard. Do the damn thing today, or at least by Friday.
And
do the damn thing.
We all... at night we think about, did we do enough today? Did we show up? Did I take care of my family? Did I love my wife enough? Did I crush it for that client we just onboarded? Someone in our community had a call. They needed help. And, did I crush it for them? Are they really going to do it? Right? I'm always thinking, what can I do more? What did I do enough? So that thought, I think, for me is never going to go away at night. But how can I mitigate it? How can I not ruminate around stupid stuff like going to the freaking bank? So thanks, Rachel, for today. Thanks for sharing your specific scenarios, which in turn sparked mine. And it's funny, I literally didn't even think of this as far as preparation goes, as far as an energy drain. So this was a gift for me today. Happy Wednesday to Jim Morris. Let's go. Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Join us tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, 4 a.m. Pacific time. The daily Rise and Energize conversation, talking about energy drains, energy gains, and what do you know to be true, and how can you change what may not be true? How can we mitigate some of these drains and pour some gasoline on the fire of gains, right? Like, let's go. Let's lean into those things that are helpful. Let's reduce those things that are harmful. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same people. Let's go.
Do the damn thing.